I have just one question to ask. What's your game of the decade? What list of games would you put together if you were asked to make your favorite games of the decade? Well, that's the exact question that I asked these 5 people here. Well, technically 4 because Moss isn't here, but we can start. I actually waited until he left. I waited till he left to start the episode. But we all made our list for if the Game Awards made a new award, not just Game of the Year, but Game of the Decade for the 2010. So any game released between 2010 and 2019 would be eligible. What would be your nominees for Game of the Decade? Welcome back, Moss.
Did we start?
Yes, we did start.
Oh, okay.
Each of us made our lists. We had up to 10 nominees. We didn't have to have 10, but 10 was the maximum of nominees that you could have. Now, I took all 6 of our lists.
Some of us shouldn't have had 10.
Yes, and we're going to get to that.
I didn't use all 10.
But I took all of our lists and aggregated their scores. I combined them all. I averaged them all out into our definitive top 6. So these are going to be our top 6 nominees for Game of the Decade.
When you show these graphics on screen, can you put it in general too?
Yeah, I'll put it in general. So these 6 games are going to be presented in order from lowest to highest. So the game that got the least amount of votes is going to be presented first, and we're going to go in reverse order. The first nomination for SI Not Found's Game of the Decade award goes to Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Yes.
Okay.
This is 6th place. This is 6th place.
Oh, this is 6th place.
Out of our combined ranking. So out of our combined ranking, this is 6th place. The multiplayer attack FPS developed by Valve, released in 2012. This game is by far the least popular one out of our top 6, with a peak player base of only 1.8 million. Charles, you had this game higher on your list than anyone else, so I'm going to let you say a few words about this game. Well, you've played, Charles, you've played CS like the most out of all of us.
Yeah, I've played CSGO for like 6 years. I'm not going to disclose the amount of hours I have. Just check my Steam profile. It's up there.
I'll do it now.
Too many. Far too many.
Anyway, it's pretty.
Should have touched grass.
Yeah. The reason I haven't.
That's the only reason you have it?
Yes. CSGO.
Good game.
Good game.
You don't think the game's good?
game.
Well, so here's the thing, because most of us did not have this game on our list, and I think the main argument against it is because it's just not very popular. Like it's like 1.8 million is extremely low for a game for
it's not mainstream like every other game.
Charles has 8,242 hours on record for CS:GO.
Well,
I think that's the highest.
That's a lot of idling. That's a lot of idling, Charles. That's a lot of.
The one thing I guess I feel like it's hard to argue with something like CS, where it's like there's not a huge player base as some of these like other titles. But it's
I'm just saying, like,
it's a tack shooter, so it's so niche.
CS:GO,
you know what I mean?
honorable mention every day of the week, right? You throw CS:GO on your honorable mention list, I'm like, have that. But like nobody's.
It's like one of the biggest esports of all time.
It's like probably I would say the second biggest in the world,
it's the
right?
second, yeah.
That's the argument.
In terms of what, like viewership?
No, I think I think it might be third.
I don't think it's prize pool revenue.
No, it might be third. There's a viewership. Third, because I think Dota might be second. His league is first, Dota second.
MOBAs are. I think, but CS is.
I'm just saying, is League on the list?
League, no.
No,
because
none of us play fucking League of Legends.
Well, it came out in 2009.
You want to hate yourself?
Yeah.
Genuinely feel bad about yourself as a person.
Charles
play League of Legends.
Charles came out with the right answer.
Yeah, I think also when it comes to like competitive FPS shooters, like it is the gold standard when it comes to clicking heads. If you're good at clicking heads, let's see how you do in CS.
You win.
Yeah.
I think it's a very rewarding game compared to other like multiplayer games.
I mean, yeah, it's I feel like more people have heard about the game than have actually played it.
You're good at it, Charles.
Well, because
that's why you find it rewarding.
I've spent so much time not touching grass; it feels amazing.
Oh, there you go. But yeah,
the only reason it's that high on my list is because it's like the pro scene and like how big it is in esports.
Yeah, it's like huge. Who here has played CS? I think everyone here but Nick and Mark.
I played CS before.
How many hours?
Mark plays CS:GO.
Not a ton.
Watched him play a comp game.
I also watch a lot of CS.
Really?
Yeah.
You watch the esports scene?
Not competitive. No, not the esports scene. No.
So you just watch gameplay?
Like played or something?
I
bet he watches like Fitz play CS:GO.
I've seen Fitz play CS:GO. I've seen Smitty play CS. I've seen most of the people around that group.
I'm not sure if that counts. They could play anything.
I've seen that too. That's funny.
They're playing the game.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I feel
It's
like
the game.
another reason that CSGO, I'm actually behind CSGO being on this list now, just because of all the skin gambling and stuff like that.
True.
Like that.
How
that's
many-
huge.
Yeah, check it out.
That-
check it
that's
out.
How many
actually-
scandals there were? Like
That's
Check it out.
true.
Like T Martin and stuff.
The skins
in terms
are.
of tea and drama, like, oh, that was
That's
phenomenal.
fair. That's a good point.
Exploiting children. Name a
The
better
best.
scene than CSGO.
That's the best.
Like,
The 5th place nominee for SNFM's Game of the Decade award
God.
goes to
Rayman Legends.
The Elder Scrolls 5
Boo.
Skyrim.
Yeah, it had to happen.
Wow, what
Had
a
to
fucking
happen.
surprise.
Had to happen. I
Yes,
agree.
It had to happen.
I agree. So,
Don't
Skyrim.
give it to me. I almost didn't put it on my list.
Skyrim, an open world
it's not on
RPG
my
developed by
list.
Bethesda, released in 2011. Along with being on our top 6, it's also the best-selling RPG of the decade with 60 million copies. So, I'm going to talk
I
about it
didn't
for a
know
little
that.
bit.
That's-
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was on like 18 different systems, including the fucking fridge. bro.
I mean,
was
people keep
about to
buying it.
say,
If it's a good game, people will buy it. I don't
it's
know.
the doom of our
I-
decade,
That's true. It's on everything.
I myself can say I personally have bought that game 8 separate times.
5 times
That's
at least.
wait, how?
Yeah.
What PC?
Xbox
PC
360,
special edition?
Original
Xbox
Xbox,
One,
original Xbox
PC.
360, PC, 2 times on PC actually.
Because the original and the anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually did that. PS4. Again,
Yep.
bought for PS4. Again, bought for PS4.
Switch.
Switch.
I bought it for Switch.
Uh,
You fucker.
I have it on my Switch.
Great game.
What was the other one? I've counted before. I don't remember the other one.
Well, it's okay.
I
Well, it's
bought
okay.
it.
But basically, so the issue.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
On a DS?
The thing was that before Preston made his list, I was so sad because Skyrim was just like, it was like LeBron James in the last minute of a playoff game. He was just gone. I just couldn't, Skyrim wasn't there anywhere. And until Preston came in with Skyrim on his list. And I was so happy because I think this might just be like a byproduct of like the type of games that our group played. Because Skyrim's great. A lot of it's nostalgia, yes, because I played it a lot younger, but like, it's hard to ignore. Like,
I don't know. It's still pretty fucking
no,
good.
it's incredible. I love it.
That's the thing. In terms of longevity, like, since it's so open to modding, it has stuck around for an
Yeah.
entire decade.
It's incredible. And like,
I will also say one thing for Skyrim is like the reason everyone gets so disappointed in like even a decent RPG nowadays, especially coming from Bethesda, is because Skyrim exists. And it's like
Yeah,
these
That's why
motherfuckers
Fallout
made
4
this game
sucked.
in 2011. Right, it was 2011 it came out.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
It was like every single game. Like, I mean, yes, there have been great games since. Obviously, there's more on this list, but like, I feel like a common theme for these, like Cary said to us when we were making this, these games had to leave a shadow on the industry or cast a shadow over the gaming industry. This game, like CS kind of set the standard for TAC FPS. This game set the standard for like an open world RPG. I'm
Well
not a big
said.
RPG guy, but I feel like it's still hard to top nowadays. Like, it's still, there's a reason it gets re-released for everything because people still keep playing this fucking game. And I almost didn't put it on my list.
I bullied Moss into putting Skyrim on his list, so that
Yeah, it was
That's
not a
cool.
Cuphead, man.
I honestly probably
it was either
should've put
either
Skyrim on my list,
Skyrim
yeah.
or Cuphead, and I was like, I can't believe this is like a decision that you have to make. Don't
Lego
know.
Star Wars deserved a spot.
Well, I came
I
out
think I'm the only
2007,
person here who has never played Skyrim.
and that's fine. Like,
I
like.
have no interest. Sorry, Bethesda.
But Mark, I think at this point it is like no one's blaming you for not trying it now because the game is like pretty old at this point. Like,
It does
Are
feel a
we
little
not?
it is dated. Like, I'm not gonna lie that it doesn't feel dated.
Are we not calling him out?
I mean, it's
What?
okay.
classic.
I mean, I
It's
I
an
just never
all-time
cared.
great.
I don't like
mean, Preston,
big
like-
RPGs.
No, I know you'd absolutely hate every second of it.
Next one.
Oh,
so
am I
that
doing
was
the next game?
this. No, well, six was CS:GO.
Valorant store reset, baby. Valorant store reset.
We gotta check, we gotta check.
Pause, Valorant store,
Pause,
Valorant.
get on.
Everyone check your Valorant stores. I'm checking my app.
Open the game.
Oh my god.
So
Why do
I'm
I have
gonna-
3 Ares skins?
Why do you have an app
Oh
for this?
my
That's
God.
Show it, show it on
This-
screen.
This is karma.
You deserve that, Mark. You 3 Ares skins. Holy-
No love for
Skyrim, you got
Skyrim,
3
no
Ares
good
skins.
skins.
That's what you get.
Yep.
That's what you get.
You know what? I showed love to Skyrim. I'm gonna get good skins. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
every skin you want.
I don't know why I checked because I'm never gonna buy anything.
And now, the 4th place nominee for our game of the decade
Pokemon Go.
goes to Fortnite.
What the fuck?
The game.
Are you serious?
Okay,
Hang on.
okay.
The free-to-play battle royale made by Epic Games launched in 2017. It is unsurprisingly the largest game on our list in terms of player base, with a peak of 290 million
It's not on my list.
in May
Christ.
2021.
Okay.
So, Nick, you placed this game higher than anybody else by far, so I'm gonna let you defend it for a second.
Okay.
You place it at number
because-
1.
No, it was. I'm not gonna say. It doesn't matter. Okay. The thing is with Fortnite, like I hate Fortnite. I literally hate Fortnite now. But if I was trying to be as objective as possible, and if you're being objective, you're trying to think about the game, you would be actually dumb to not think that
Fortnite is not on my list. Didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, because you were doing it subjectively.
You're-
What games are
Because
on your
you are
bucket list?
dumb. You are dumb. It's
No,
a
but,
good thing
no.
you're pretty.
No, think about it subject. You think about games you've played, games you have experience with. That your
Preston
list
just
is
called
more
me pretty,
subjective.
everybody.
We talked about your list before. I know your list
Don't
is
get used
subjective.
to it.
If you're trying to be objective, it is impossible to. I would say, honestly, genuinely, kind of stupid to
It
put
should
outside
be
at
on your
least the top
list.
5. It should
It
be on
has
the
to
list.
be.
Zero shot. It should not be on the list. And in my opinion, it should not be below 5 at all. I put it number 2. I don't like the game, but I
the
put
only
it there.
the two main reasons like that I think it has to be on this list is one, like the size of it, like the cultural impact
It's
of the
the
game.
size.
The cultural impact of the game, like people like
Yeah,
non-gamers
Fortnite should have been on
know
my list.
Fortnite.
Took
and
over
also
the world.
no, but the second thing, which I think is the stronger case that people don't talk about, is that it truly innovated the free-to-play battle pass system that every game
started it,
copies.
basically.
Every game copies, and so that's like the more
Free to
legitimate
play
reason.
was essentially a mobile game thing before
Yeah.
Fortnite really. And now every single game is live service, collaborations, battle pass, like
Yeah, I mean,
every single
Epic
game
Games
like
is
that now.
also a really cool company.
I would also make
Um,
the argument that no other game's battle pass is still as good as Fortnite, because Fortnite's battle pass, it gives you a profit for completing it. Like it's there's no reason to not buy the battle pass because you make more currency completing it. No other game does that still. Like
Yo, that shit looks like
Well-
the battle pass.
Yeah, it absolutely innovated. There we go. The like game as a service that was like coming out, but it like really cemented it, which was just huge. And then it was the first one to really like bring in other brands
Yeah.
because they understood their target demographic, which was like
And things
12 to
completely
16
unrelated. You have everything from Rick and
wanna play
Morty to
Darth Vader.
Bruno Mars. Like,
Yeah,
what the
exactly.
hell?
Fucking
Star
Ariana
Wars,
Grande is in
Marvel.
the goddamn game.
Yeah.
Zendaya
Travis
is
Scott,
playable
bro.
in this game in like 5 different characters. Like,
Spider Gwen.
no, was it Haley Steinfeld? Because she was in as Kate Bishop, she was in as Spider Gwen, and she's in as a Vi from Arcane. She's in the game 3 times.
Zendaya was in
forgot
as
Vi's in the
from
game.
Euphoria, and Zendaya was in for Dune and for Spider-Man.
Right? Yeah. Okay, that might have been it.
They did virtual concerts in Fortnite, like
Which are
fucking
actually really cool.
Marshmallow
They are
and
really
Travis
cool.
Scott.
Travis Scott.
They're actually really cool. So that was Fortnite in our 4th place.
Wasn't on my list.
Now we're going to the top 3.
We established your list was bad, Mark. We established that like a month ago.
We have.
Sure.
Okay.
You didn't even have the list.
Destiny 1.
So the 3rd place nominee for Game of the Decade goes to
Dun, 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 dun,
The Last of Us.
Wasn't on my list.
This is
Was on
what
my list.
I
All
feel
right,
like
Marco,
if you're
you might as well leave the
if
call,
you're a
bro.
listener, you're
Yeah.
starting to build this picture of why Marco's list is so just bad.
I did it subjectively. I thought that's what we were doing.
The action adventure game developed by Naughty Dog, released in 2013. It was critically acclaimed for its storytelling and writing, as well as getting a rare successful video game to live action adaptation. So far, each of us has had some sort of logical connection to the game we're playing. So I kind of ran out of options. So Mosh, you got this one.
Oh boy, I was hoping. For
I was
God of
about to
War in
say,
this one.
has
Have you
anybody
played it?
has anybody played this game?
I played through like
I have,
the first
actually,
5
yeah.
or 6 hours. Yeah.
I just watched a
I played the
playthrough.
game.
And I've watched. I watched the whole playthrough back when it came out and when it got remastered.
You watched the PewDiePie playthrough?
No, I wasn't.
I watched
was,
the
that-
TV series.
So beyond the
Very
fact that
culture.
the TV show is fucking incredible, this
be.
game redefined, I
gosh.
guess, storytelling in a video game. Not that like great stories hadn't been told, but it's like, oh wait, you can make this shit cinematic.
It's
you
a
can write like
movie.
interesting,
It was kind of like one of
deep
the first
characters.
movie games.
And still make it a good
like
game,
and
too.
exactly, and this game doesn't like the gameplay doesn't have to be incredibly invigorating, deep, thoughtful, and amazing. It's like if you have a great story and like intriguing gameplay sequences, it's like then you have basically a playable movie. One thing because I like the technical side on PS3 at the end of the generation, this game looked incredible, and now like the remasters all the way up to the PS5 one now with Last of Us Part 1, it's like insane what Naughty Dog was doing back in 2013 with that piece of shit PlayStation 3. Also, I will say it did kick off the whole like zombie thing which zombies became. I know The Walking Dead kind of came before this, but like it was one of the big pioneers of like zombie shit in the 2010s. And I am very glad that zombie shit has just died off because it is so boring and uninteresting.
And then it resurged when the TV show came.
Yeah, but the TV show was just the same shit, and it was.
Do
good,
any of you guys
so.
think that the show is better than the game?
Some of the changes I really liked compared to the game. Also, Bill and Frank, that whole story with them,
Yeah.
that was like arguably one of the best episodes of TV I've ever watched. Period.
Yeah.
It is. It's so good.
It's really interesting because like I don't think most like writers ever get this sort of chance to improve upon their original work. They're making season 2, which is going to be modeled after the second game, and I'm
Which was
curious
not
what they'll
very-
do. Yeah, so like if this is a chance for them to improve, quote unquote, maybe from the audience perspective, improve upon the writing of the second game. Yeah, I think it'll be
make it
really
worse.
interesting. It'll be really interesting.
Or
to see.
make it worse. That's a good point.
No shot they
Or-
make it worse.
Or destroy it all.
Remember, everything in life is a 50-50. That's why you just put it all on black and you win.
That's true. That's true. Okay, Last of Us on the podium. Now we're
think I
going on
know
to
what
second
has
place.
to-
Yeah, I think
I mean,
everyone
we know
knows
what
what the
these
first.
next-
I
One
know
game-
the
one
top
game
two.
that's
The top two.
guaranteed.
The top two have to be the same things.
We
that
know
I put.
what
It has
we
to
know
be.
what the number one game is going. to be.
Okay.
Yes.
I think this is a
no,
toss-up.
yeah.
If it's not number one, I'd be
I think this
very
is a toss-up.
surprised.
I
It's-
truly
I'd be
think
It's
this is
very
a
F1 in
toss-up.
2022, right?
No, 23.
Oh, it's Madden 2014.
Bro, low
That was a
key,
good- Madden 16
That was a good
my
game,
shit.
bro.
low key. That
All right,
was.
Cary,
that was
drop it,
guys'
drop it,
So
drop
the
it.
second
drop it,
place
drop it.
nominee for the game of the decade goes to Grand Theft
Grand
Auto
Theft Auto
5.
5.
Okay,
Grand
so it
Theft
ha-
Auto
so
5.
it ha- I have
Good.
to be right with number
Good.
one. I have to
Good.
be right with number
One of the
one.
most
yeah.
expensive games ever made, costing $350 million when adjusted for inflation. GTA 5 was released in 2013 by Rockstar, and it's also the second best-selling video game of all time with 185 million copies. Preston, you're actually the only one who put GTA 5 at number one on your list. Almost
Good.
everyone else puts
the rest
put
of
at
you are
second.
smart.
Everyone else
the
put
rest
at
of you
second.
are smart then.
I put it at
Preston
knows
3 or
better than
4.
us.
I put it at
Mine,
3 or 4.
mine almost made second. It almost
So
made
here's-
second.
Here's the reason I have it where I have it. Because A, like you said, one of the most expensive games made it all back after one commercial.
that's
They put out one commercial and everybody's like, okay, I'm pre-ordering this.
Yeah.
And like the online, just absolutely nuts. The longevity that they're squeezing out of that is just crazy. The fact that they they haven't come out with a new game, but you could argue that they don't really have to. Like you could go back, play GTA
3
5.
generations of consoles. 10 years
Exactly.
is crazy.
Exactly. You know,
Half
I
of
mean,
our lives, GTA 5 has been around for, guys.
straight up. I remember I wasn't allowed to buy it because it had like nudity. And then
Secretly buying it on the Xbox store.
No, I didn't even have to do that. I just had a buddy come over, I played it, and then I was like, hey, Mom, can I get this? And she's like, sure, whatever. And then it was just like sitting there no-lifing that with my buddies. That's why I put it at number one, is because like subjectively, it's like one of my favorite games to ever come out, just memories-wise. You know, us trying to do a heist and Moss didn't bring snacks, you know, like stuff like that happening all the time. Super frustrating, but like we chuckle about it now. So that's why I had it where I had it, because it's just like, it's a phenomenal game.
Community maps are awesome too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just they're like Rockstar has opened up so much for this game. Not even just they keep releasing content, but for the community to create their own content
Yeah.
to keep the game alive. But also it's like, again, pioneers. Every
Pioneers.
open world city game, when you think about it's like when I drove around in Watch Dogs or Saints Row, I'm like, damn, the driving in this
This is like-
sucks compared to GTA. Like it is the pinnacle open world like city based game, you know, like they're like there's open world like fucking Skyrim. I don't think they're the same thing, you know what I mean?
It's completely different. Like
yeah.
map size too. Like that map is absolutely massive.
I saw a comment where it was like, if Cyberpunk came out like the way it did, in a world where GTA 5 doesn't come out, people would have appreciated Cyberpunk. Like, well, at least you tried, right? Like, at least you tried with the game of this scale.
Mhm.
But like, Rockstar did it like a decade ago, and they did
Yeah.
it flawlessly with like barely
And
any
they
bugs.
killed it.
Yeah,
and
like,
GTA 6 is coming soon. It is coming
6
soon.
will be
In their
I think,
shareholder
25
meetings-
or 26.
In their
Yeah.
shareholder meetings, they're saying their next fiscal year, they're expecting like a 50% massive boost in overall revenue. And it has to be because they're going to launch GTA
Yeah.
6,
or they
no?
dropped GTA Online 2.
Oh.
Collection
No, it's a
group.
GTA prequel.
Out of the, I mean, we don't know I'm gonna pretend
We know
that,
what the number one
right,
game is.
but like out of our
Let's
top
be
six,
real.
two of the games on our list, GTA 5 and Skyrim, the sequels to those games are like the two most anticipated games of this decade,
Elder
like by
Scrolls
far.
6 is not coming out until we're probably.
It's
30
in
years
development
old.
now, though. It is in actual live
Do
development.
you guys think it
no
comes
longer-
out
no,
before the
because
decade?
No.
I think it'll be a
next
launch
console
title for the
generation.
next generation.
Next
which would
generation,
be,
It'll be like 2027, probably.
2028, maybe. Yeah, it
Dude,
might-
if we're all still alive by then,
It'll be a launch
No
title for the
shot.
Switch.
No shot.
the world's gonna melt by then.
No shot. We're
Live event
alive.
in,
No
Canada.
shot. We live
No
to
shot.
see Elder Scrolls 6.
There's
No,
no
shot.
way.
They're
Very-
gonna give us like 3 days to play Elder Scrolls 6.
And then the
boom,
sun is
like,
gonna crash into the earth. We're all gonna vaporize.
So I think we all
what
know
number one is.
Yeah.
what number one
Yes.
is,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it is
Minecraft.
Yes.
Minecraft. Not only is
The
Minecraft
greatest of all time.
the best-selling video game of all time, it is also the most actively played with 140 million monthly active players, and the next
It shows
closest
right
is League
here
of Legends
for
with
the
117 million. So Marco, you're the only one left, so you're gonna talk about this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you back. Minecraft was $27. We didn't have that kind of money, couldn't buy an account. So
When was
Moss
this?
and I would find any cracked launcher, any this or that, just to play any version of Minecraft. Playing it on a potato laptop,
How old were you?
Probably like
13
11,
maybe.
12, yeah.
12, 13. And then we got it on Xbox, and then we got it on Xbox One. It's just, and also the whole era of Minecraft YouTubers. That's a not good thing anymore, but back then it was entertaining. But it's just, it's amazing. I mean, the way that the game has
Favorite
evolved,
friends,
along with the
smaller
player base, and it's just, it's great. You always go back to Minecraft, and you always have a great time.
Yeah, there's the joke about how every friend group has like 2 weeks out of the year where they get into Minecraft and then just
Yep.
don't play it again. And like,
Where our server was taken over by pillagers for about 48 hours, and then we
That was
finally-
awesome.
Carrie and I stayed up till 6 a.m. during COVID, building a castle, like just
yeah.
for no
I
reason.
remember that.
it was
That was
great.
the
I went
weirdest.
upstairs. My dad was
Made
awake
a
for work.
Minecraft graduation for me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did.
we rebuilt the SRC arena for a
That was so
Minecraft
cool.
graduation.
I mean, for Mark mustn't play as a kid, but it is just like incredibly nostalgic. Like,
Oh,
I mean, it still
I
is
can-
nostalgic.
I can remember Christmases. I was 12, and there was supposed to be an update for Minecraft that was coming out.
the chest.
So I was like, Mom, I threw up. Like, I can't go to school today. Like, there's just no way. And it was the silliest little thing because I was playing on Xbox. So it was like, oh, you can make snow golems now. And I was like, this is the single-handedly the coolest thing that has ever happened to me. Having a little sister, that's not it. Snow golems is where it's at.
Yeah.
I just remember when after Carrie moved, our first time going over to your new house, Carrie, we went downstairs in your basement. It was just your laptop.
and you showed us
And you
a
just showed us your redstone
that you
cannon.
made.
Really?
And that's
I don't
the
remember
first thing. You were
this.
like, come
I
see.
remember
That was
that,
it. And for the rest of the night, we had like 2 laptops. No, we had like 3 laptops set up, and we were just trying to play any maps that we could. Also, the nightmare of connecting with your friends on LAN and
God,
actually
what
getting
was that
into a
old?
world.
What was that old fucking software you had to download if you weren't playing like on an
I don't
official
know,
server?
and just always trying to figure out how the fuck to install Forge, and then Bedrock came out.
Genuinely, so much of my computer knowledge comes from modding Minecraft,
Minecraft.
because you have to learn how to use the
percent
file
app
system.
data, percent
Yes.
roaming.
Percent app data percent. Like, you have to learn the Windows file system, and I'm like, you have to use Java. You have to, and I was like, dude, like, oh, so much of my knowledge comes from modding Minecraft.
a game that is endlessly replayable, easily accessible to anybody of any age. And like we grew up in the peak of, even if like Carrie, it's like even if Mark and I didn't play it when we were like 12, because we didn't have anything to play it on because we were stuck with a fucking Wii and my mom's work computer. So, but the era of just how Minecraft took over YouTube, like that's how
It's still
Like-
like dominant. I mean, it's a new wave of like
it's
YouTubers,
still
but it still
yeah,
crushes.
it's still well, yeah. It's,
Yeah, we
and it-
we got rid of the Minecraft YouTuber to prison inmate pipeline, right?
Yeah, now it's
like
kind of
that.
just like
yeah, they all preferred smaller mobs.
It's
it
just like-
seems. So.
You guys
Yeah.
want to know where Minecraft gameplay is most prominent on media right now?
Where?
Reddit stories on TikTok. Background gameplay.
oh my
you
god.
see-
It-
remember-
it's-
Yeah,
Minecraft
dude, oh my
parkour.
god.
And you hear like, I am male 30, just divorced with my wife, female 35.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like parkour.
It's like it's like the thing how
Or like
it's
the
same thing
AI
how CS:GO
presidents
surfing used
doing
to be. Now they
fucking
just use
parkour,
the
dude.
fucking.
Even all the memes
kinda
now, like there's so many memes. Just like even like
You
sound.
can look at like any of these. I mean, not any of these games. Probably 2 of the games
Most
on
of
this
these.
list, maybe 3,
Like
and like they're all still alive because of memes.
culturally, yeah, culturally they're still
Fortnite and
relevant.
Minecraft obviously are like probably the 2 biggest on this list.
Yeah,
Maybe Skyrim.
They're alive because they're still played.
Well,
Like
that too, but
Oh.
if you also become a
GTA
meme,
5 is still really big.
I would just like to appreciate the fact that there's one game that's not on this list where it's just funny that it's not, because we were all just like, no,
like which one? Wait,
no, Overwatch, just no.
Okay.
No,
So this
Overwatch
is
was
a
never
great
gonna be on this
transition.
list.
This is a great transition. So
we're
I'm
going
gonna
to talk
show.
about our own list.
I'm gonna
now.
show. So I'm gonna show everyone's list at once. It's gonna be a lot of information. Just kind of just like just take it all in. Just react to it. You just
I might start stemming.
yeah. Just use your initial thoughts and feelings.
Christ.
Let the neurons fire in your brain. Let
Here
the
we
let the
go.
emotional
Rayman
reactions come out.
Legends?
You have your initial reaction. Your monkey brain explosion of
Okay,
opinions,
okay.
and then we'll calm
Don't
down
look
and
at my
talk.
list. Don't
So
look at mine.
there it is. Open it. Make it big.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five
let's
Nights at
go.
Freddy's.
No. We need to have a conversation, Nick.
Pokemon Go should not be on this list.
Yeah. At 5?
If you look
It
at
lasted
its-
for one summer,
We're putting it at 5.
and then it was cringy if you had it.
what? No.
Yeah.
But at 1, dude.
You
No.
put it over Skyrim? You
Like-
bought Skyrim like 8 times and you put fucking Pokemon Go over this? I don't care
How
how,
many
objective
players
you
does
are
Pokemon
doing
Go-
this.
Uh-oh.
Have.
Yeah, that's right, lag out. That's right, lag out. Lag out,
Are
bitch.
you
Lag out.
kidding?
Over
What is
Dark
this
Souls.
clown fiesta? The closer I look at this fucking list, why is Pokemon Go above these these
Bro.
5 games?
I looked it up while I was, trying to disconnect my phone. Pokemon Go still has 80 million active players.
Cool.
And
It's not a video game. It's not
Yes,
it's a mobile
is.
game. It's a
it's
mobile
an
game.
AR experience, bro.
It has 80 million
Yeah,
active
don't
players,
rifle
but it's
experience.
like
It's a
it just
free
ain't
mobile
it.
game. You have little kids who have it. They have no idea how to play it, but they have it on their phone because it's Pokemon, even though
Nick,
they've never
Nick,
even know what to
Fortnite
do
is
with it.
free as shit. The freeness has absolutely nothing
Nick,
to do with it.
Nick, so
Yes,
let
it
me ask-
does.
Nick, let me ask you this. So these 5 games you put under Pokemon Go, would you say Pokemon Go is a better game than any of these?
I'm not thinking about it as just better game when it comes to that. Well, one, Pokemon Go is a mobile game, so it has disadvantages.
So-
My thing with Pokemon Go
So would you say it's
is
more
it
impactful?
literally
then?
took
Is
over
like-
the world within a year and still has 80 million players. You
You
can't
have
ignore
purchased
that.
Skyrim 8 times.
I haven't had to
it-
purchase Pokemon Go 8 times. If I
It
had to,
was
I would.
really popular for one summer.
And it took
like
over
that-
the world for that.
I didn't
summer.
get it. I didn't get it.
Skyrim.
It was really popular for one summer. Okay, took over and that's because we were in we were in middle school going into high
Yeah.
school or something like
You know
that.
what's
Like,
still popular?
we had
Skyrim.
nothing to do. What did it change, Nick?
What a change.
What?
Dude,
What
it
took
over the world.
Go
And name one
outside.
good Pokemon
No,
game that's
that's-
come out.
that's
Name one good
changed.
Pokemon
Yeah,
game
that's
that's come
changed.
out.
It went outside. That's revolutionary.
They make
You
it-
took gamers outside.
Specifically, you got Nintendo fans outside. That's an even
Nick,
harder task.
people got human trafficked because of this game, okay?
Yeah.
There had to be articles being like, do not go battle. Don't go to the gym to fight these people because you're going to get fucking stolen. This game has done more harm than good.
Okay, what were this?
Yes, the fact that it had that many
Human
people-
trafficking, Nick. That's all I'm going to say. You
That's
cannot beat
huge.
human
The fact
trafficking.
that it caused so much human trafficking is just a better example of its impact for Nick, I guess. I don't know.
I get Nick likes
People
human
literally
trafficking.
died
Nick just
playing
wanted to
this
get
game 'cause they
human
weren't paying
trafficking in
attention
middle
to
school.
it.
Nick, I don't like 100% disagree with like your reasoning for why it's on this list.
But at
I just completely disagree with the fact that it's anything but 10. That you would put Skyrim, Red Dead, Breath of the Wild, 3 of the greatest RPGs ever, Dark Souls created a whole genre of fucking games, and Portal 2 like a puzzle masterpiece over swiping up on my phone to catch a fucking virtual Pikachu.
and then paying
Okay.
money to then get more Pokeballs to keep not getting the Pikachu. It's a cash sink. It's a human trafficking cash sink.
Like, okay, the whole it shouldn't be that high argument. I do understand that. Looking back at it, I probably should have. I think Breath of the Wild is better than Red Dead, and I would put Breath of the Wild and Skyrim above Pokemon Go. But I think it's probably still has more impact than Red Dead, Dark Souls, and Portal 2.
So Nick,
see, but I feel like it's hard because you have to. I don't know, Cary. Maybe this is the way that you told us all, but you said it's sort of you mix a little bit of objectivity and subjectivity to make the ranking.
I just to rank it how you feel like. If you want to take into account its popularity, if you want to take into account like, the gameplay.
I was trying to be literally as objective as I possibly could. I did probably.
But it's not good.
I probably
It's
did
not
put it a little
good.
too high.
Why would you rank it over good games?
Nick, do you have any other reason why this is on your list?
Besides, it has a lot of players and a lot of middle schoolers got it on their iPod touches.
It's not just Nintendo fans who played this game. It taught people Pokemon. People who never played Pokemon before. Like, it wasn't just Nintendo or Pokemon fans who played this game. It was a global
5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably the only like decent Pokemon game that's actually released in a while too.
Okay, Scarlet and Violet is actually really good, but that's apparently an unpopular opinion.
I do want to touch on the few of you guys that put Overwatch on your lists. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, fucking Pokemon Go is better than Overwatch.
I mean, that was entirely subjective. That's why it's at the bottom.
I'm gonna agree with you there.
I know. Yeah, no, I will too. That's why I know where to put it at the bottom of the list. You see, if you would put it at the bottom of the list, we would have had no problems. It would have been like, oh, haha, his throwaway was Pokemon Go. But you put it at 5. You put it at 5. You were like, it is a nomination. It is a legitimate.
There's so much on this list that we could discuss, and it's gonna be an hour of us yelling about Pokemon Go. I think like when it comes to just
because they did it subjectively.
Well, maybe, but also like
that's why.
That's why man. I did it subjectively. Okay.
Overwatch, when Overwatch came out, it was like the shit. Everyone was playing Overwatch. The league was huge in the first like 2 years. Then it started to suck dick. And it still does. I don't know how it still exists.
It sucked the entire time.
Just the game itself, I don't know, man. It's just, when it comes to just an interesting blend of FPS and like MOBA shit, I guess, is what you would blend these two as. There's nothing like it. There's like TF2 and like Valorant, I guess, but Valorant plays like attack shooters. So like the comparisons between Overwatch and Valorant is very, I don't know, man. It's fun to play. It has endless amounts of charm. Like really enjoyable characters. It was fun to play for a while before they destroyed the game and stopped supporting it. Maybe, you know, if a lot of the people at Blizzard didn't touch people who didn't want to be touched, maybe the game would have been more successful in the long run, but I think it deserves a spot on the list.
I have Overwatch on my list because it was the competitive PvP scene was so. Overwatch was a very kind of unique game. The only thing like it, I would say, was TF2 at the time, because you had things like you had MOBAs, you had tac shooters, you had things like that were dominating not just the esports scene, but just like competitive gaming scene, competitive FPS kind of thing,
like a hero shooter.
You had Call of Duty thing. Okay. There wasn't really another hero shooter. Like this was a brand new kind of thing. That's why people were so intrigued with it, with all the new characters, and the unique abilities and how everything had so much.
Who said that?
Like Ma said, everything had charm. I understand that now, and even by the end of the decade, the game had lost a lot of that and had just really. Again, like Cary has said, one of the best examples of how to completely destroy what could have been a wildly successful franchise.
I feel like the easiest argument for like why Overwatch belongs where it is just Overwatch League. Like you look at Valorant now, they learned that if you just throw enough money at esports,
it'll stick for long enough.
So that's the only reason.
But Valorant's actually learning that if you also run it like a competent organization, then it will stay alive for longer.
I think if you don't want to put Overwatch on the list of top 10, I think it would definitely be within the honorable mention. It took the world by storm when it came out. It was a big deal. Not much like it.
I feel like we can't say we took the world by. Like all of these games in some way or another took the world. That's why they're on this list.
Sure.
Overwatch also, again,
except for Rayman fucking Legends.
Shut your mouth.
Nick, you put Pokemon Go fifth on your list. You can't talk shit about anything. You can't talk shit about anything.
You were both invalid for any argument.
Rayman Legends is at the bottom of my list. Bottom of the list. Bottom of the list.
The fact that it's on the same list as
it was one of the first things I thought.
Until you put it on this list.
Because you've played over 8,000 hours of CS, Charles.
Some fucking
You don't get
grass,
out
why
much.
don't you?
Dude, that came out before CS:GO did, or
What?
before I started playing CS:GO.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not denying that Overwatch isn't a great game. I just feel like it doesn't have enough to be. I mean, then again, my list was strict. I only put 7 games on my list, but I just don't feel like it has that oomph to get it over the hurdle because it was fantastic, but it just died out.
I think it does.
So
I know
quickly.
but I think it does.
Like after the first 2 years of its launch, like after 2019, I think it was kind of just like on it. Like
It was after
So
Echo
I
launched.
see
The
Cary
game
has
just
no loyalty.
the game
Zero.
I'm looking at it objectively. This is a game of the decade, and I just
So we were doing this objectively.
no. Well, I like to.
So
You guys can do it however you want.
should've said-
You guys can do it
I'm
however
just
you
kidding.
want.
I'm-
So I don't know. It doesn't have that extra oomph.
I agree.
Objectively, Overcooked is better because it requires more
Nice.
teamwork.
More skill.
More teamwork.
I want to turn our attention to the many games on Marco's list that don't appear anywhere else.
There's a lot on Moss's list that don't appear. Yeah, it's
talk about Five
Spider-Man
Nights
at
at Freddy's?
number 1. That's not anywhere else
Okay.
on the
Okay.
list.
Good.
Well,
He
okay.
also has
We're
getting
Mario
to that.
Kart
We're getting-
8 Deluxe.
So Mark, rapid fire.
Which-
Okay, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Honestly, I
So-
could
wait,
argue that
wait,
Mario
wait,
Kart 8
okay. So Mark, really quick, rapid fire. Can you give me your reasoning for Super Mario Galaxy, Destiny, Borderlands, and Rayman Legends?
All right, Super Mario Galaxy 2 took Super Mario Galaxy and made it better in a lot of ways and added Yoshi. Everyone fucking loves Yoshi. This is Nintendo, top of their game. This team that makes all these 3D Mario games has never made a bad Mario game. This thing,
Gas.
this was a game that, like, even if you had never touched a Wii or whatever, also this thing just kept the Wii moving. This game is fantastic.
It's
Just
moved.
super innovative, super creative. Nintendo never fails to make a really good 3D Mario game.
I love Super Mario Galaxy 2, but no.
Also, Galaxy 2, like 3D World came out, but Galaxy was the last true 3D Mario game before Odyssey came out. So this one had to hit, and it hit hard. You also look at like best games of 2011, 2012, whenever it came out, it's towards the top of the list, if not at the top of the list.
All I'm hearing is that's just not enough to justify third.
Facts.
No,
I have
he's
a
not.
question
He's
for-
not going to
I-
have enough.
I hate to stray away. Mark, I have a question for you.
How many people still play that game?
Mark, you don't
No,
own a
it's-
PlayStation. You don't play single player games. Why is God of War on your list?
Because
Is
the
that
game
all
is just
objective?
badass. The game is
That's true.
badass. That's why.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best argument you made the entire time.
All right. Destiny. I put Destiny on there.
The CS:GO for Mark.
Destiny 2, whatever. It took an idea. Yes, launch was rough, but it took looter shooters and PvP and PvE.
It was
and
not
put
just launch.
okay, shush. It put it.
Its entire life cycle was wrong.
Yes, the entire life cycle has been rough. Trust me. I just played
we
the newest
didn't even
expansion.
enjoy
Shut
the
fuck up.
people we played it with. Like,
Yeah, shut up.
Me.
I hated
The
all
amount
of you.
the
I
amount of
hated all of
times
you. You
I
all
got
bullied me. I hated all
you
of
know
you.
how many times I got legitimately bullied by Preston because I didn't play Destiny as much as he did? We failed
How
a
many
raid.
times?
and
Preston was bad. Preston was bad at the
Preston
game.
wouldn't speak
You're
to
bad
me in
at the
school
game,
the next
Preston.
day. We failed a raid. He kicked me from the Xbox Live Party, sent me a long voice message about how I'm fucking awful at this game and a terrible human being, and he wouldn't speak to me the next day. There's
Alright.
a reason Destiny is on this fucking list.
Destiny is
Preston.
on there purely subjectively. I've been playing it since alpha. It has to be on there. It's looter
I
shooter.
forgot about that.
Speaking of looter
I
shooters,
didn't.
Speaking of looter shooters,
motherfucker.
speaking of looter shooters, Borderlands 2. All right, it takes one of the greatest villains ever in a video game
I will give you
with a
that.
fantastic story and taking just looter shooters in general, making them
the
great. The
best villain?
expansions were great. The story was great. The weapons were
Ooh.
great. Huh?
Who was the best villain?
Handsome
Sephiroth.
Jack. Handsome Jack, one of the
Well,
best video
he
game
said
villains
one of.
ever.
He said one of. He said one of.
Yes, I did not say the
Okay.
best.
Just the
I said
pure
one of.
disbelief on Charles's who.
Who?
Charles doesn't play anything except CS:GO. We've talked about this already.
I don't know how many. I put a lot of hours into Destiny 1. I'm not gonna lie. That was like my CS:GO for the Xbox.
Lies.
Yeah,
All
definitely
lies. I
Borderlands
never
2.
saw you online. You were bad. You were so bad. All of you sucked. I was the best at
I was
Destiny.
bad?
You're all terrible.
Dude,
you
you
were
didn't
all
play with
literally
me.
awful. You didn't, because you were bad. You were not at
No,
level.
'cause
You
I was
didn't
like
understand.
12.
You weren't on my level.
Yeah,
You
I
just
was
weren't on my
gonna
level.
say, Charles,
You
you
weren't
were
on
like
my. You weren't on my
13 at
level.
the
Did
time,
you
so
wake up at
count.
5 a.m. to play Rise of Iron? No, you didn't. I woke up at 5 a.m. to play
Shut-
Rise of Iron.
shut up,
You guys
shut up.
didn't.
You played-
So
you
all
played
you can suck
Wizard,
my
okay?
dick and balls. All right, shut the fuck up.
You've always gotten carried by being pretty, and that's just made life.
That
Can
just just wrong. That's just wrong.
never
I have
played
pure
on a
gamer
radio.
skill.
It
Can
had
we-
I
zero
have pure
skill.
gamer skill.
Can we as
Pure
a
gamer skill.
can we as a group at least
Probably
agree?
not.
Can we-
It's
Yeah,
on your
probably not.
list, Preston. It's on your list.
Can we as a group at least agree that Destiny has more of a spot on this list than Pokemon Go? Please, can we all
Yes.
just collectively
Absolutely.
agree? Okay, yeah,
Absolutely.
Good.
Yep.
I think Nick's the only one who hasn't played a lot.
So it's
okay,
not the- not the
I'm
one
gonna
I
hit. Cary didn't tell me to hit this. Five Nights at Freddy's belongs on this list. If
Yes,
you
it
say
does.
it doesn't, it belongs on the list.
It does.
It had literally the first game took the internet by fucking storm, created a whole genre of
Okay,
games.
so we're going back
and
to
now-
taking the world by storm.
It did. If
That's
you
your-
watch
that's your
YouTube in
only argument.
2014,
That's
it
your
was
only
always
argument
Five
now.
Nights at Freddy's. It was always this created one of the biggest franchises ever in horror video games and just video games in
I can
general.
sum up every one of your arguments. It's like, and this
Rayman
year
Legends.
It took the world by
There's
storm.
a
Rayman
movie coming
Legends.
out. There's a
And
FNAF
Rayman
movie
Legends.
coming out.
Rayman
Yeah, and
Legends.
it's
If you
gonna be
like good
bad.
No, it's gonna
platformers,
be
if
good.
you like good platformers with good visuals, fun characters, fun level design, musical levels,
And play
just
Super Mario
fantastic
Galaxy.
platforming. No, it's a 2D side scroller. 2D side scroller. Play
Again,
Rayman
Nick,
Legends.
you can't speak. You put Pokemon
You put
Go.
Pokemon Go on.
You
I
cannot
admit-
say shit. You cannot say shit.
Five Nights at Freddy's belongs on this list. You're wrong if you say it doesn't.
I was about to say, Moss is talking a lot of shit for somebody who put Spider-Man.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
That's
One,
all I'm
dude.
gonna
So
say.
here's the thing,
He
Mark.
feels way too comfortable right now.
Here's-
I enjoy good games. That's all I'm gonna say. I like good games.
No.
Clearly, you guys like
You
other
like
good
games that
games, but you don't
Take
like
the
good
world by
games.
storm.
Here's
I
the
like
thing.
good
Take the
games.
internet
That's all
by
I'm gonna say. I
storm.
like
That's
good
like
games. Good
saying
games are fun.
bacon, but
I
no-
enjoy
You're gonna have
good
to just
games.
mute
Okay.
everybody so you can speak.
So here's the thing, right? When I hear game of the decade, what words do I hear when you're describing a game of the decade nominee? Right? Like groundbreaking,
Game of the
iconic.
decade.
And Marco used the words good 3
Revolutionary.
times. That's all he used for Rayman Legends. He used the word good 3 times.
You guys just don't appreciate it. You guys don't. You've never played it, so go play it and get back to me.
No, Cary, come on. He just
I
doesn't
don't
know how
think-
to use adjectives yet. They didn't
Guys.
teach him that in acting school.
Can you explain why you put
It's Spider-Man.
at number 1? Because on the
It's a
list,
fantastic game.
So
Number
okay, so here's the
one?
thing. I will admit when I made this game, it was like the slightest bit of recency bias. But
You made
the reason,
Spider-Man?
the reason, yeah, I played through the whole fucking game.
No, you
the
said you-
reason, no, I didn't. The
Never
reason,
mind.
Yeah.
the reason
English
I,
is hard.
the reason I put Spider-Man at number 1 is because I'm not a single player game. I do not enjoy single player games. I enjoy games as a social thing. I enjoy to keep in touch with my friends, which are all of you. Play games, have fun, do dumb shit, swag on other people. Right? I'm not a single player game guy. I finally got around to playing Spider-Man. It has the best story I have ever experienced in a video game. And yes,
You don't play
it's a
single
li-
player games.
Okay, fuck you.
Nick, you play Pokemon Go.
yeah.
You play Pokemon Go.
It is
Every day.
it is
What
a little
what a mistake to throw on the list.
it is
I play Pokemon.
it is a little biased because again it's like off of an IP that who the fuck doesn't like Spider-Man, you know what I mean? But like between amazing visuals for the PS4 era and also just in general, like the best superhero adaptation of a game, because there's been plenty of shitty superhero games. And yeah, the Batman games, like the Arkham games, are definitely up there too.
Gotcha.
An amazing open world, incredible soundtrack, like insanely fun gameplay. For all the memes where it's like this game makes you feel like Spider-Man. It makes you feel you feel like a fucking badass because you can't kill Spider-Man. He's OP as fuck. Swinging
can
around
die.
it, just the opening mission where you swing around New York with like this just a fucking score going crazy and just like chasing the helicopter down. It is endlessly fun. It is an incredibly grounded story for a Spider-Man game. I've said if this Spider-Man story was in a fucking Tom Holland movie, people would be acting like this shit was Jesus Christ on a Marvel movie. It's good. It's amazing. It is wonderful. It is delectable. It is so much
Here we go
fun.
with that word again.
The
Delectable.
DLC isn't that. The DLC, I will say, the DLC is like mid. The DLC is mid, but the main game alone, it is the first game I've tried to 100%. I've like 88% of the game before I fully was like, I can't.
Number one?
Yeah, that's like my whole thing. Number 1.
Like,
Oh,
come on. You're putting it as like more impactful than Minecraft?
He admitted to
GTA
recently.
5?
Or you put it
Like,
Moss.
I personally Personally,
like-
I put a bit more subjectivity into this list. Hence why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash are on
Mario
this
Kart
list.
8
You know what I
Deluxe is a
mean?
very suspect.
I get a bit more subjectivity, but like if there's even an ounce of objectivity in your list, like it's Minecraft GTA 1 2. Like
Why?
you know,
Why is Mario Kart 8 on this list?
I just personally love this game because I'm really good at it. But
You can bring up the GTA
it is the
5
best.
argument
It's the
for
best
Mario
in
Kart.
like the genre. It's the
game
best.
of the decade because it's the only one this decade he was good at.
No. Yes. No. It's the best racer. Period of any game released this decade, and not even just like kart racer, arcade racer. It is the best racer. I don't give a fuck about Forza. I don't give a fuck about F1. I don't give a fuck about Assetto Corsa and all this bullshit. Mario Kart 8 is endlessly replayable, fun for literally anybody. Someone who has never seen a video game or does not understand the term video game could pick up this game and understand that if you get first place, you win. It's so much fun.
That's
It's
all
so
ra-
much
that's
fun.
all racing games.
That's how
though.
racing works.
Game, right?
That's how racing works.
And
Okay,
you're
yeah,
also
but I can't put someone into
you're
fucking
also
F1
leaving
and they're gonna
off-
just get it.
Yeah, but
you
they're
know what
gonna
I mean?
understand that
leaving
first
off
place
the
wins you the
entire,
race.
like Gran Turismo series because like we don't play racing games, so it just feels like a bold statement to be like it's
No.
the best racer of the decade. You know, when
Okay.
like we don't do
There's a
racing.
reason
GT7
why-
can
This is
suck
a-
my dick.
This is a GTA 5 argument for me. There's a reason why Mario Kart 8 is like the only game they've released, and it's one of the best-selling games ever. Like
Yes,
it has been
I
out
was-
with the Wii U and with the Switch. There's a reason why they haven't made another one. They finally put some DLC into the game because they're like, wait, this shit's still making us a fuck ton of money. And it's great. If it, obviously if it wasn't good, no one would buy it. It's not that they just get it because it comes with the Switch. It's like people really liked Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously. It's been around forever and it's sold a ton of copies. So if you're putting objectivity, sure, maybe not top 10 or like below top 10, but this is like up there with the games of the decade
Okay,
because
Mark.
it's still around.
Quick
I
quiz.
know, I agree.
Quick quiz
I
for
agree.
anyone who cares. Smash Ultimate, 30 million sold. Skyrim, 60 million sold. Last of Us has 37. How many do you think Super Mario Kart 8 has?
Mario
70
Kart
million.
8 has to have like 70, 80.
It has 64 million sold.
That's still
That's
more than
fucking
Skyrim.
good.
Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Respectable.
Respectable. Compared to GTA, you know, respectable.
Yeah,
Respectable.
Well,
Okay.
you know, at least I didn't pull
Okay,
Nick and
okay.
put Mario Kart Tour on this list. You know what I mean? Just
What, Nick?
Well, Mario Kart Tour is ass.
good.
So is
Wha- wha-
Pokemon
wha-
Go.
So is Pokemon Go.
No, it's not.
Okay, but can we talk about like the Smash Ultimate pick for like?
Yeah, I
It's
thought
the fighter.
I thought Nick
The
would put it
platform
on his
fighter.
list, honestly.
The platform fighter.
No.
Again,
No.
I also think of this subjectively because I have so many good memories. I've played this game
Okay.
endlessly throughout college. But also, it's like, look at competitive fighters. Smash has been everywhere. Yes, Melee has. The reason people still play fucking Melee is because it's good. The reason Ultimate is so successful
reason they
is
still
because
play Melee.
competitive fighters are huge.
Those are
You know what I mean?
fucking losers.
So
You, Charles.
So-
You put Fortnite on your list.
Ultimate, I do really think it's a great game. It's just like the problem with Ultimate is like, one, it doesn't have as many copies. Like it is the leading fighting game, esport, the leading fighting game, like when it comes to just player base in general. But fighting games is, no matter how you look at it, just a smaller market than other esports or games in general. It just generally is smaller, even though it's an incredible game. Has good single player content, has a bunch of things. It's just
It's
not
just not
still
enough
like
to get you onto the list.
I would probably put it like 13 or 14. I think it
This is
deserves
also,
to be
this is
pretty
also
high up.
more of a
Matt.
recency thing. It came out late in the decade.
Yeah.
I put God of War on my list completely objectively, and I'm playing through it now. I'm like halfway through, and it deserves it.
No.
It's a crime that it's not on that fucking Pokemon Go made it over God of
Well,
War.
I think
Nick.
honestly, like, I mean, is it like, I think it's like reverse recency bias is what we're having, where it's like we prefer the older, we would rather put the older games higher up on the list. Like out of our top 6, all but one, which is Fortnite, came out before 2013.
Because
Like,
we've seen the
Probably
impact the most
because
of
we
them had.
enjoyed living.
and we felt the
back
impact.
when,
played 'em.
back when life was easier.
Well, now
Yeah.
because so
Yeah.
many things you see so much about games that come out, but also like we I'm not speaking for all of us because I know we all play different things, but a lot of us like know what we like and just stick
Settle
to it. There's a
down,
reason why I've played Destiny for 10 years and Charles has fucking
There's
way
a
too
reason
many
why we
hours.
all played Overwatch for like
CS:GO.
6 years.
Yeah.
No matter how much we dog on it now, that game was like our life
No,
in high school.
it's because
you know what I mean?
we were playing with the boys. You know?
That's
Yeah, we
true.
find what we
Come
we
on.
like. Granted, I know people go off and play other things, especially like Preston and Nick. You guys play a lot of other games, but
Not really anymore. But
well, I know, but
It's mainly
it's-
back in the day, while y'all
Nick,
were
you
at the
play fighting
musicals,
games, okay?
I had to find something to do. Okay.
sure.
So one game I think underperformed, at least in my
Yes.
opinion, was Breath of the Wild. I thought it would be a little high. In fact, it did place 7th, so it was just
If I was
outside
going
of top
full
I
5.
was-
objectivity, yes, Breath of the Wild would probably be like 3rd on my list.
I was about to say that one's 100% my fault because like I'm just not a Nintendo guy, so I've never played it. I'm sure if I did, I would love it, and it would just be like, oh, this is
You
phenomenal.
really would,
but-
Preston. It's an
That's the
incredible
thing.
game.
It's only Nintendo.
Breath of
But
the
yeah,
Wild.
but I'm not a Nintendo guy, so I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it's I'm sure it's good, but I'm just not gonna touch it.
I think on our list you could represent it more, but also like hearing it as like game of the decade is not a crazy thing at all. I think
No.
it would be up there in top 5.
I thought a bit more subjectively, and I don't like these big open world RPGs. I played like 3 hours of Breath of the Wild and got really fucking bored and stopped playing it because I'm like,
Same.
this is lame. Skyrim I played a little bit more,
Like,
but I
narrow
was
hallways.
yes,
I knew
exactly.
exactly where to go.
Load into
and I will
game,
enjoy the
10-minute
game.
Linear
experience,
gameplay.
leave game. Load
Five
into
Nights at
another game.
Freddy's,
same-
beat one night, go to next night, slightly more difficult, less battery power. You know, like
See
I
that's
don't
what
know,
that's
man.
what I hate about Valorant, where there are like 3 lanes. Sometimes it's like that's too much. That's too much. We need one.
the thoughts kind of creep into the back of your mind where you see this and you're like, damn, is this game like overrated? But it's like, no, we just none of us really played the game a lot except for like Nick probably. So
Yeah.
and there's just
Yeah.
better
Nick is our
games that
resident
came
Nintendo
not
guy.
to s- 20 the 2010s were fucking bangers for video games.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Absolutely.
There's like heavyweights just everywhere, bro. In
Five Nights
every
at
genre.
genre.
Black Ops
1,
4.
2.
Oh my
4?
gosh, yeah. We like the fact that we don't even have Call of Duty on here. It's like
Well, I think most of
We got
like,
4 Black Ops games in one
VR
decade.
was a huge
I'm just
thing.
like-
VR came out in the 2010s. Beat
Yeah, but-
Saber.
no, okay, but I feel like the only
It was
okay,
still a big thing.
we'll get to it
but, like
later.
Black Ops 2.
I
Yeah,
think
Black Ops 2
Preston,
is
I think
like,
the only
come
call
on.
the only Call of
you
Duty
know,
game. I spent a whole spring break. I got gold camo for 4 guns.
I think the only Call of Duty game that is worthy of a game of the decade nominee came out before 2010.
You're
No,
talking
Black
about
Ops 2 came out. Black Ops 2
MW2.
came out.
Yeah.
Modern
one of
Warfare
those.
3 was really good, no?
MW2 has shaped a generation.
We'll touch on that in a sec. Actually,
Hans Zimmer did the fucking score for the game.
no, it's a
Like-
decent transition to like I teased it before we recorded just to you guys, but it's like could we do the same thing but for the 2000s? A game of
think
the decade
Halo
list
would
for the
just,
2000s.
like,
I would have enough.
Eat it up.
I don't think so. I
Not
mean,
a-
my list would be so small because I only
think
really started
if we
playing
were to do
video
it for the
games.
2000s,
Number
I think it
one,
would be much more
Star
objective
Wars
than
Battlefront
subjective.
2. Yes, yes.
Simpsons Hit and Run,
Greatest
Simpsons
game
Simpsons
Hit
Hit
and
and
Run
Run, dog.
created.
That's on there. Fuck GTA San Andreas.
Halo
Simpsons
3.
Hit and Run.
Halo 3 was
Halo 3, Halo 2,
3,
Halo 1,
But,
like
like-
all the you
Oh
can
my
make it you
God,
can make a
yeah,
legitimate
call that a
case that
wall.
all 3 Halo games in the 2010s would be on the list.
and it's nuts because it's true.
Do you guys
It's
think
not
we would have a
ridiculous to say that.
would we have a definitive number
It's-
one?
I think it would be much more objective than
Yeah.
No.
subjective. But besides things like Wii,
Wii
Sports,
Sports.
or like a couple things that
Oh,
we grew
dude,
up
Wii Sports
playing,
is
I
crazy.
think it would be mainly. Except
Sports
unless
would
you're
go
Preston,
hard.
you played Gears of War at 7 years old. Like
What about Quake?
I
Do you
played
think Quake would
GTA
make the
4,
list?
bro.
No, Nick, I wouldn't put GTA
Pac-Man
4.
World
I would
two.
put San
I agree
Andreas.
with-
I would put San Andreas.
agree
Pac-Man
with
World
Marc.
2.
I think it's just it'd be way more objective because like yes, we all played games in the late 2010s, late
I
mid
just tried
to
to
late
do it as
2000s.
subjectively as
Jesus Christ.
possible.
Mario
But it's
Kart
just-
I'm playing
DS.
Yeah,
games.
that one would be
My
so.
life. No,
I would
played
literally be
tons of
like-
games.
Wii Sports Resort, Halo 3, but and like
Super Mario
you know,
Galaxy
Charles
1.
would put CS Source.
I'd put 1.6 on there. 1.6 is way better.
Going the other way, as of right now, what games that came out in the 2020s so far you think would be
Overwatch,
still on the
Valorant.
list? You think would
Overwatch
still be on the
2.
list, like in 20, like at the end of
Tears of the Kingdom.
That's a
games
solid.
that came.
Or
Oh,
Elden
like if
Ring.
we were to make like an early
Tears,
2020s
Elden
list, or
Ring.
no?
No. Okay, sorry. Let me
Elden Ring,
clarify.
Elden
So
Ring,
at
yep.
the end of this decade, when we look back, how many which games do you think that
Right,
came out
and we
these
have
first
the
3 years that would
podcast where
still
we
be on
release at
this
the end of the
list?
decade.
God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2 comes out this year. I feel like that'd be up there. I am biased.
I think
but
Elden Ring is a
Elden
lock.
Ring. Elden Ring's a lock.
Elden Ring
Tears
is
of
a
the
lot.
Kingdom. Tears of the
Tears
Kingdom
of the
is
Kingdom,
definitely
yes.
there.
What
What
about
like big budget
here,
releases?
Marco brought up VR.
Starfield?
Would Half-Life Alex?
No.
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 What
It
about
was big for it was
It
it
Takes
was
Two?
cool because they're like new Half-Life. It Takes Two, I think.
It would
I
be
think
like
that'd
a,
be
doesn't
it'd
have
be like
the-
a rough honorable mention.
doesn't
It would
have
be an
the-
It
honorable.
wouldn't have the it's
easily
still
like
game of the year, but I don't think
Yeah.
it would be in the top 10.
could be an
Hades?
honorable
It
mention.
just doesn't have staying power. It doesn't have
Hades.
longevity.
2019
Hades
no? Was
also.
that 2019?
Hades
That's a
is
good
so
point.
good, and Hades 2 is coming out. Oh,
I mean, Valorant
think-
probably no.
No, I don't think so.
No,
No.
as of right now, no.
No.
if
wouldn't
it
put it
if
as,
it
like, a lock.
lasts and gets bigger, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, also
Rainbow
Valorant didn't come
Six
out in the.
Siege
When did
2.
Valorant come out?
2020.
2020?
Rainbow
Okay.
Six Siege 2. We're sieging again.
It's not out yet, but I
Holy
think
Siege.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 might have a chance.
No.
Please.
So
Red
you
Dead
know,
2.
in
Red Dead 2.
in somebody else's list, Nick, in a different group's list, I'm sure. I am
But in
sure
our
it would
list,
have.
no.
None of us have
But
ever
in
touched
ours,
a
come on.
Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, exactly.
Cyberpunk.
Like
Cyberpunk. No.
Well, no,
Cyberpunk,
but
like,
the thing
79 or
the
something.
thing is, no, you guys didn't play Remake
Warzone.
Part 1. I'm the only one. No,
Warzone came
I'm
out in
the one who-
2020.
That died.
No.
though.
it died too
Ring,
fast.
Doom Eternal, Forza, Horizon
No,
5, Ratchet
the
and
only
Clank.
locks right now are Tears of the Kingdom and Elden Ring, and then in the future for this decade, GTA 6 or
GTA
Elder Scrolls
6.
6.
I
Depending
would
on how-
still put God of War Ragnarok as like,
Spider-Man
you
2
want to
is
keep an eye
tough.
on it.
Oh,
I know
the
it came
second
out
Spider-Man
early in the
is a good point.
decade, but like it just takes it's incredible. It's like God of War times 6.
Oh, dude, Counter-Strike 2.
good.
No, no, pal.
You said you
Overwatch
already
2.
said, Charles, that you like the first one more.
Overwatch 2 PVE, Overwatch 2 PVE,
Yeah, of course.
non-existent. Overwatch 2 PVE, what could have been?
Yeah,
What
it's
could've been?
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
No.
No. Yeah, no,
Pokemon
yeah.
Go
No.
2.
If you say the word Pokemon for any of those
Rocket
games,
League
I'll kill
2.
you.
We just start slapping twos. On
No,
everything.
okay.
The Simpsons Hit and Run remake. That's
Dude,
gonna
Poly-
go.
this is
just came out.
devolved.
Actually,
What?
Polybish would make the list.
FNAF, the
Untitled
next
Goose
FNAF
Game.
game.
Security breach.
Security breach.
No, Security Breach would not make that list.
Uh,
Last of Us 3.
The FNAF movie would probably make the
So
list.
Yeah,
I am
best
just
video
curious,
games,
like,
the
a
Five
little-
Nights at Freddy's movie.
a little bit off topic here. How about movies of the decade? You know what I mean? What
That
what
would
do
We
be-
talked about that and how it would be purely
That would be so.
subjective.
We would have to make it completely.
It's a
subjective.
lot harder.
That, unfortunately, yeah.
Because,
Carrie's
like-
seen a bajillion movies,
it's
and
the-
I've seen anything with Spider-Man
Well,
on it.
it's
That's
the-
basically
it's-
it.
Compared to games,
Online.
there's just so many movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not that there's not a lot of games, but when it's like games that you would put as like best, like you could have 10 movies in one single year that could be argued as some of the best of the entire decade.
Best trilogies of all time.
Yeah, but
Spider-Verse,
are
Five
they
Nights
like
at
the
Freddy's.
Dark Knight Rises? You know what I mean?
The Hangovers.
Oh my gosh, the Hangovers.
Damn, you heard it first.
Revolutionary.
Marco just predicts 2 more
Grown
Five
Ups
Nights at
1 and
Freddy's
2.
movies.
I predict 2 more Five Nights at Freddy's. The lore allows for it.
The Lord.
Well, I was about to say, like, so
Best
is that
YouTubers of the 2010s?
a movie that you show up to sober?
No.
No.
Yes, actually no. Once yes, once no.
I want to go see it at like 3 p.m. Just blast it off my mind. I think it'd be hysterical.
You know, I want to mention one more time.
It's gonna be like
I-
a
Okay,
3-hour
should be on that
movie.
list.
I should have brought
Oh,
this up
actually.
earlier, and I apologize, Nick, for dogging on Pokemon Go one more time. I should have brought this up earlier, but I distinctly remember a conversation when Nick, Charles, and I were hanging out one time before I left, and we were discussing this list, and and Nick and Charles were putting together their short list, just brainstorming ideas, and I jokingly brought up the idea of Clash of Clans as a joke, and Nick very seriously was like, "No mobile games." And I just wanted to bring that up because you put Pokemon Go on your list.
No mobile game.
You put Pokemon Go
Charles,
over Clash of Clans.
Do you
bro?
remember, Charles? I remember this
Yeah.
conversation. And Nick was like,
No,
"No,
I agreed.
No
Clash
mobile
of Clans
games."
should be on there.
You gotta
I
include
didn't
the
say no
cock.
mobile game.
You
You
gotta include the
did,
cock.
Nick. You did.
did.
I brought it up
did.
as a joke, and you're like, no,
I
and you
say no
just
mobile games?
you dismissed it. You're
This
like,
is
no
ridiculous.
mobile games.
Over Skyrim.
Overwatch.
Yo, where's Sea of Thieves? Throw that bitch on this list.
Dude, see, these have a ton of potential. The launch sucked,
Art.
but it would never. It doesn't have the oomph. It doesn't have the.
Captain.
If Sea of Thieves launched the way it is now,
Guys, what about Among Us?
I don't.
it wouldn't
even
be. It wouldn't
then.
be a time. Among Us is like Among Us. You have to put it as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
If it's completely objective, when you talk about something that took over the world, Among Us
I
legitimately
think
took
actually
over the fucking world.
the most impressive. I'm not sure if any other game on our list has done what Among Us did in terms of entering the our lexicon. Like people say sus now because of the game. Actually, it has entered like our lexicon, like our
Well,
language.
they were saying sauce before.
But like not.
Yeah, but now,
not to the
Okay, wait,
now,
wait,
widespread.
but now
But now it's
our
funny.
generation-
Now it's
Dude,
funny
and
when
it's
you
funny.
say the word
Dude,
sus.
Sus made it into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It did, bro.
It
It
did.
did.
They did say
But
sus.
how like are we like? Do you think it'd be fair to like chalk some of that up to COVID and not necessarily because
Yeah,
of
but
Among
that's
Us?
no,
or
but,
no?
but that's
Because-
Yeah,
like,
but
But just
still, that's
because
just
of a
part of the
pandemic
thing,
doesn't
though.
mean people wouldn't have enjoyed games, you know?
no, but
I think Hades came out during the pandemic, but people still fucking love the game.
Well, yeah, but the
know?
difference is like Among Us was like the only social interaction we had.
Sure.
Like it's just Mafia, except you get to play it at a distance. And Mafia sucked, so Among Us being good is actually
and Among
like,
Us is a much
Mafia
funnier
does
name to
suck
say
to play.
than Mafia. Among
dude,
Us.
Mafia is so trash.
Among Us.
Among
and,
Us.
And it's a
Among
huge
I love
meme.
Mafia. What do you mean?
No, Mafia.
And I love
Yeah,
Among
yeah,
Us.
and you like Pokemon Go too, okay? Your opinion is invalidated for the
Nick-
rest of the day, okay?
Nick, I'm sorry
We'll
we've been
turn
dogging
the
on you so
Wi-Fi
much, dog.
And your opinion tomorrow, okay?
You did it to
Nick,
yourself.
Nick, I'm sorry we've been dogging on you so much, dog. But you in your completely
You were
sober,
fine.
a right mind put
You were
Pokemon Go 5th. You set yourself up for this. I put Spider-Man
I'm-
first, but I think there's less of an argument to clown me for that than to put Pokemon Go.
I think
at
Marco entered this episode really nervous about being judged for his list, but then when he saw Nick put Pokemon Go at 5th, he's like, "Oh, I'm good."
I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna get clowned on, but not clowned on
Nick
that
took
hard.
the heat off on Mark's list.
Yes, you did.
I've already admitted I put it too high. I still would put it on my list, but
I
would
think
say-
you're wrong.
8. I would put it at 8.
No, over Dark Souls and Portal 2.
Charles is Portal 2
Over-
at number 3.
Nick, there's just no there's nowhere
I
to
like
put it
Portal 2.
except either
I like
10 or
Portal 2
off
as
the
well.
list. There's just no argument.
It's a mobile game. At the end of the day, it's a mobile
I think
game.
I think it's impossible to ignore
Is there
it. I
any is
think.
there any mobile game that you guys would put on this list?
Minecraft Pocket
Clash
Edition.
Clash
Clans.
Royale.
Angry
Clash
Birds?
Minecraft
Royale,
Pocket Edition.
Subway Surfers. I'd probably Angry Birds come out like 2008.
It would have to be
though.
a mobile, or you're right. It would have to be a mobile exclusive. It can't be like a port from a different game, like a
Clash
mobile,
Royale.
like Clash of Clans or Angry Birds. Just because they're like iconic and they like the god
Kick the
mobile
body
game.
Bird.
There is Subway Surfers,
Mhm.
especially
Yeah,
because it's
that's
been making the like
Been making
it's-
all of my
It's
like
been
random TV
stimulating.
clips
It's been
watchable.
stimulating Zoomer young Zoomer minds.
Seriously, the fact that they have like Subway Surfers and then above it they
how
have
am I gonna watch?
And then it's
How the
Family
fuck
Guy.
am I gonna watch Killers of the Flower Moon, a 3.5-hour movie, if there ain't a Subway Surfers clip right next to the right to the
How am I
screen?
supposed to watch Family Guy funny moments without
How am I
Subway
supposed to next to
Surfers?
watch?
Okay,
How
but
many?
it does make it way more watchable.
It does.
though, like, because it's just like, oh, like it does make it better, and
That's
that's what I
exactly
hate.
how I act when I
That is
watch
brain
something
rot.
with
That
a
might be
sound
what the
nice.
closest definition to brain rot. I
I
can
think
feel
that
my
is just
I can
the
feel my
definition.
attention span just decreasing by watching it. I'm like, this
It's
is not.
dwindling.
Yeah,
I need to start reading or something.
dude. Imagine reading a book and you just have your Subway Surfers next to the.
Now that's an idea. That's an idea. I'd start reading that.
Someone should build an iPhone attachment that like clips it onto the book as you read. So there's always a Subway Surfers clip, just like right
Yeah.
there. So you can like.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, let us know. Like,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
let us know if you want us
Okay,
to do this for other lists.
Before we talk, I have a question for everybody. Fully subjective. What is your game of the decade?
should we
It doesn't
remake
matter
this?
success. No,
GTA
no, okay.
five.
You're just saying your
It doesn't
favorite
matter
game
No,
of
we
the
just go through
2010s.
each of
Your
us.
favorite game.
Your favorite game of the
2010s.
2010s.
GTA 5.
It might be like Minecraft, I guess. I think most of the games here, like I would just pick from like one of these games.
I mean, yeah, there's a
Mine's
reason
Five
you'd
Nights
pick
at
from-
Freddy's. I mean,
There's
That's a
reason
joke.
you'd-
That's a
There's
joke.
a reason
dude.
you'd pick from this list. You know, even if you're thinking objectively, you probably put something that is your favorite game from the 2010s on this list. No?
What about you, Nick?
I was
Mine-
100%
mine's
Well, it's not Nick.
objective with one too.
Mine's from 2010 in Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah. Ah, it's tough. Minecraft or Skyrim? I would go. It's so tough. But yeah, one of them.
mine is either Destiny or Borderlands 2. That's why
I wouldn't pick
Fortnite.
Fortnite or Last of Us.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that genuinely just brought me joy and not
CS:GO.
hate.
Not CS:GO.
Like-
CS:GO only brings hate.
Like, I don't know. Probably like
CS:GO
Portal
is
2.
just Dark Side.
Portal
Maybe
2 is fun.
Very
Portal
fun,
2
very
or one
good
of the.
game. Because like
Sure, it's
Minecraft,
not.
Minecraft doesn't
It's
hit.
not.
Minecraft doesn't hit the same for me, and neither does I can't say GTA 5 or Minecraft.
So
are
it's
my
not on
favorite
this
game of the
list?
decade. It's probably Overwatch or Spider-Man. Even if I just played Spider-Man now, well, it just depends because I played Spider-Man this year in 2023. Can it still be my favorite game of the 2010s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it came out then.
It's probably Overwatch or Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is a
And bro, I ain't
was
never
so
gonna
much
get
fucking
caught in
fun.
public saying Overwatch is my favorite game of the 2010s.
That's why I say Destiny
Yeah.
Borderlands 2.
When Skyrim,
That's
when
all
games
I
like
played.
Skyrim,
I don't play single player games.
Minecraft.
Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports
Yeah,
Resort.
2009. It came out
I think it was
2009.
fire.
3-point
Dang.
contest.
Came out
Those
And
Those
it's
2009.
levels were
replayable.
awesome.
Moss and I played pickup game to determine who was the best twin of the year, and I won.
Yeah, I
I was
lost.
about to say, have we been holding those competitions yearly?
Well,
Or
the last one we did was the
Well,
fucking
what
argument.
we actually,
than a
you
fifth
know what we
grader,
should do
no?
for actually, what you know what we should do for this year? What if we just did a Valorant 1v1
Well, I'd lose. I would lose.
Dude, abilities should
with
be on the
abilities
table.
with abilities? So Moss is on Breach and Mark is on Astro. That's what we should do.
No,
That's what we should do.
No. a Valorant
put-
1v1.
Dude,
That's so lame.
you don't be the modern day equivalent of like the Roman gladiators, like in the Coliseum, and just watching like a
Like a Fortnite.
like a
1v1.
You guys
CS:GO
should do like a
1v1.
hot dog contest.
Joey
Fine,
just
hot
on
dog
hot dog eating
contest.
contest.
What, no,
That'd be
what if
awesome.
you guys did like a
Now
gaming?
that's an idea.
So what if we did? What if you guys did like a
We could
general
do a gaming gauntlet like
yeah,
the Ludwig thing.
Yeah, like the Ludwig thing. Like who can perform better in a shooting game, who can perform better in a fighting game,
Oh,
and a
I,
this.
I thought we were just going with all the.
I think I think
Actually,
that would
who
take
would
forever,
win?
though.
Okay, no, if we picked like a
Nick, you're not in the running for the best twin of 2024. Okay,
no,
You're
no,
not-
no,
this
no,
isn't
I think
about
I
you.
am,
Oh,
right?
no, we could
No,
we
Preston.
could expand this. We could
Oh,
expand
okay.
this to like all of us. Like if we did a gaming gauntlet of like you have to compete in
Then
a shooter
Charles
game.
wins shooting games.
Like you have to
Nick
win
wins
a
fighting, games.
What else? What other categories would there be? Maybe like Rocket
Best
League.
Minecraft
and-
MOBAs.
No, we can't. No, none of
I
us.
play
fundamentally
Mario
don't know
Kart.
how that works.
We play
We'd have to put
Jackbox and see
chess.
who the funniest person is, who wins the most Jackbox
No, no.
Jackbox game.
Like yeah, like, if we did like
Well,
a
who's the
general
best
I
at
have
speed
a
running?
trump card.
Speed running.
like
We should all. I think
We
fair
like
game is
try
Lego
and
Star Wars
speed-
Complete Saga.
We all speed run like Mario 64.
Let's just play Burial Card.
Oh my god, I'd kill you
I would.
all. I'm-
I'd
oh,
fucking
you think?
Mario Kart.
Preston,
Oh,
I
you
know.
think?
Preston, I know I can chug at least decently well, and I know I'm miles better than you at Mario Kart. So I would kick your ass.
I promise you, in an endurance game, I win every
Oh
time.
no, the carbonation fucks me up.
Preston,
By the end of that Grand Prix, Moss,
I was
you're
built to be
gonna
God's
be
drunkest
seeing
I'm
driver,
finishing
okay?
30 seconds ahead of you, dog. Like
Bro,
I'm
no
simply
there's
too
no shot.
fast.
Moss is going
There's
Max
no shot.
Verstappen on this
I,
competition.
I don't
Preston,
need
I was
anything.
playing
I'm gonna smoke check you, son.
Start it
Me
up.
and my friends
Come out here
literally
to
just
Boston.
having-
Let's
this-
run this shit. I don't have a Switch,
Bro,
but
this weekend I was playing fucking Mario Kart with my friends. I was playing Mario Kart. I was dedicating myself to playing Mario Kart. I was playing as people were playing normally, and I still won. I couldn't drive while I was drinking, and I
were you
still
drinking
fucking
alone,
won.
Nick?
Huh? No, I was with my friends. But they weren't playing
Okay.
Mario Kart, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Mario Kart and see if I can still win, and I still won.
so you
I
were
think
drinking.
I would
There we
win.
go.
We all know I'm the best when it comes to these types of games, and I'm the best when
No.
it comes to drinking.
Yeah.
That is true.
You know, I'm the best.
Let's have a drinking contest. Let's just do
Not
that.
gaming.
Then just
Okay,
chug
okay,
water.
Not-
Press, say
water?
when and where.
This
When and
is
where.
the gauntlet. The gauntlet
I'll be
is
there.
chocolate
I'll be
milk
there.
and orange Gatorade. Preston, you're up.
Ew.
dog.
Chocolate
Easy
milk, orange
Easy
Gatorade,
day.
and bush apple. We got to do that.
I devour it.
We would
It's
lose.
weird.
Preston would kill us
bow and
purely
press
on not wanting to lose. No, Preston would kill us purely on none of us can do that except for him.
Preston's like stomach size difference.
If I were to drink,
Bro,
a
the
quarter of a
stomach
gallon
dip
of
is
milk, I would
nuts.
probably die.
stomach
The
volume
stomach
diff.
diff is nuts.
Simply
Yeah,
a volume
facts.
differential.
Yeah, I've been training it for years.
Yeah, but Preston, I'd cook you in Mario Kart, dog.
I don't think so.
It's
Yeah,
better
I would.
drinking versus better
I
Mario
would-
Kart. What wins?
I would need like 2 hours to get spun up on the Mario Kart aspect of it, but
no. For Mario Kart, you sit down and you fucking play.
yeah. But like, you know, to make it competitive.
But yeah, exactly, because you would lose. Because you would fucking lose. I don't care
Well,
how
I would
good.
lose
I don't
because
care if
I've
you could-
never played the game before.
Preston, I don't care if you can inhale a beer like it's air and just take one fucking gulp and it's gone. You still are not good at Mario Kart. I will fucking
Yeah, but
destroy you.
I can figure it out. I can figure it out.
I will
You know,
pound
like,
you
it's
into
not
the
hard.
It is Mario Kart. It's not that hard.
I did
It's
say
not-
it is accessible
you
for
literally
everyone.
said anybody can pick it up. I'm
Yeah, but I
saying
didn't
give
say
me 2 hours
anybody
to pick
can
it
be
up.
good at it.
And now you're scared.
It's
And
like
You
now you're
guys
scared.
would
Won't
both
even
be
give me 2
driving
hours.
under the
I'm not
influence,
scared
and
of
I
you.
would
Are
get
you
you
gonna
both
start
arrested.
recording?
I'm not scared of
Huh?
you.
I would arrest
You're
you both
scared.
for driving under the influence.
It's
Fuck
like
you.
it's like in Ratatouille. Anyone
I
can
blue
cook.
shell your police
Anyone can
car and
drive.
drive away.
Anyone can
Exactly.
cook, and I
Anyone
am
can
the
drink and
definition
drive.
of that
I am
saying.
the chef.
Anyone can drive.
That's the whole point of Mario Kart. You can't drink and drive.
Yeah, but you don't.
Yeah, but it's
have
just
the
like real
strat.
life. If you just drink at stoplights, you're fine.
Because you're not driving.
Every round of Mario
Exactly.
Kart that I have played,
Yeah.
which I will admit is not like a fucking metric ass ton, but I've played a decent amount, I've won. Because I'm simply so good at Mario Kart.
Like I said, we'll
Congrats.
just play the long game.
Also, everyone, I've studied too much Badlands chugs to be bad at chugging.
Truth.
Also,
It's-
how many
it's
how
not-
many beers are raised? Was it 1 or 2?
One. What the fuck?
Oh my
One?
god, that's
One?
nothing. Are you
Well,
fucking
because we
kidding me?
changed it. Some people play with beer. Some
Come
people play with
on.
seltzers. I always play with seltzers because I don't drink beer.
No, that is unacceptable. It's
Hard
not
liquor.
Seltzerio Kart.
You get a handle of
Come
Tito's.
on.
Handle of Tito's.
No, it's not
Now-
Liquorio
Now
Kart.
now
That
it's
should
all
not
changed.
exist.
I know so much
You know,
about
Cart?
alcohol.
Charles, you're still one of the good
Me
ones.
too,
Charles,
Joe.
pick a
Damn.
college, you'll be fine.
Okay, so we've
I-
established that
I
Marc
was
will
about to
lose.
say.
No, I would win because I'm just better at
It's
Mario
two-
Kart.
Okay, so the rules are 2 beers. I made a
Beerio
game out of. I
Party.
made a drinking game out of Mario Party.
What
Made a
about-
drinking
Every
game.
time
It's
someone
so
else
fucking
gets a
fun.
star.
Valorant. Beer and Valorant.
That would be fun. We should just get drunk and play Valorant. We would
Every
suck
round
so
you
much.
lose, you take a shot.
Every
I
time you
think,
shot. No, you would be dead after one game. I go like 5 and 16 and have to take 16
shit.
shots, bro.
Oh wow, yeah. Every
Save
round,
every
you-
round.
It's just
you
like
take
you
a
just have to
shot.
take. You have to take
Every round, you play your life.
every
You
death.
play
Oh my
your life.
God.
Dude, every death you just take a drink. So you drinking something. Every death you just
That'd be
take
the
a
most
drink.
serious game of all time.
Let's see
No
who can
shot,
get-
dude.
Let's see who can get farthest in 2020 mode and Five Nights at Freddy's.
I've watched so much gameplay. I'd
The
smoke
amount
you
of
guys.
times I've watched that Markiplier video, I'll probably be a fucking god, dude.
That ends this episode.
What's
Hopefully,
your game of the
What's your
decade?
favorite
what's
game
your
of the
game
decade? If
Let
you
us
put
know.
Spelunky on your list, you're fucking wrong.
If you put
Anyway,
Rayman
If you put
Legends,
Pokemon Go number 5, dead wrong.
Yo,
Dead
anyone
wrong.
who's played Rayman Legends, give me some sympathy. Give me some
No.
love in the
No.
chat, all right?
anyone who
He's
hasn't
serious.
played
I wanna see
Rayman
this
Legends,
comment.
boo this
Seriously.
man in the comments.
All hate. I just want to see.
I really want to
this.
see this comment section because I wonder if anybody either agrees with me for at least considering it or if
Nope.
they're all gonna
Comment
say
if you even know what Rayman Legends is. Like I guarantee you, 0 people will comment that.
Rayman
Let us
Legends
know,
was like
would you-
made before I was conscious. Like,
Would you put what game would you put as your number one game of
would
the
you put
decade?
Pokemon Go on number 5 on your top 10 list of game of the
No,
decade?
Why?
you wouldn't.
why would
Put
all of you
Fortnite up
put
there.
Minecraft as your top game of the decade? That's the question.
How
It's
many
good.
of you think Five Nights at Freddy's deserves to be in the top 10 games of the decade?
Yeah, if you like
And
Five Nights
of,
at Freddy's,
Of all 7 of you,
If you guys like
Okay,
games,
just-
leave a
just-
comment below.
just-
leave a,
yeah,
leave
if
a
you
comment
like games, leave a comment.
Leave like if you like bacon.
you really need interaction.
If you let us know if you would rather have unlimited games but no bacon or unlimited bacon but no games.
Bro, unlimited
And
bacon,
if you
no
would
games.
if you want unlimited
Yeah.
bacon, you can't answer any of the questions about games.
unlimited
You
games,
have
no
no
bacon.
games.
You don't care about games.